Hello, welcome to all my Fiesty friends, or welcome back if you are a returning viewer. Thank you so much for joining me today. I am clearly upstairs again, and because I'm speaking, my animals seem to think that that means I'm talking to them. So I apologize in advance for any four-legged visitors, or three-legged because one of my dogs is a tripod. So, what's going on? It is another Needlework Marketplace review. This is number 3 for the 2025 edition, and I think we've got 20 designers that we're going to talk about today. If you're unaware, I am Tona. I am the owner of Fiesty Needle. We are an online cross-stitch shop based out of the burbs of Minneapolis and St. Paul. And eventually one day, the goal is to be a brick and mortar. So we are going to talk about any of the new designers that have done their releases in the last week and a half or so. And with each designer, I will let you know my favorites. So the first one we're going to start out with is Sweetwing Studio. Sweetwing has 6 new patterns this launch. And the first one, of course, I'm not ready. I'm not even on the right page, guys. Count Your Blessings. Count Your Blessings is 95 by 97 and very quilting inspired, super fun. Next up is Micah 6'8", Act Justly, Love Mercy, and Walk Humbly. 75 by 112 on Micah. Mrs. Claus's Cookies. Isn't she sweet? Mrs. Claus, with a twinkle and cheer, keeps her cookie jar very near. With sugar and spice in every bite, she fills it with love each winter night. It's got to keep Santa fat, you know. 77 by 152. And then we've got Petite Pumpkin Potpourri. This one is just really sweet. There's bee skips on there. Little pumpkins, flowers. At least I think those are bee skips. It's hard to tell in the picture. What do you guys think? Bee skips? Flowers? Sunflowers? I'm not sure. Anyway, 53 by 51. Easy peasy. Strong and Courageous. Be Strong and Courageous, Joshua 1:9. Which rolls us right on into Fiesty's favorite. And here it is in all its fall glory. Stay cozy. We've got leaves and candles and quilt blocks and socks and coffee cups and sweaters and acorns and books, and it just screams fall. It's super cute. 124 by 82 is the size on Stay Cozy. Next up, we've got Lucy Beam. And Lucy Beam also has 6 new designs coming out. First is My Name's Berry, Strawberry, super clever on that. Turned into a drum, you'll see on this picture, it's 211 by 87. We've got House of Pines. I love the finishing on this, done on a book. That is one thing I've always really enjoyed. Teresa Kogut does a lot of that, and I have a pattern once it's finished that I want to do on a book. I've yet to find the book, but I feel like that's a whole nother hobby, right? House of Pines is 123 by 110. We've got Merry October 31. Cute little pillow, 85 by 85. It's like little Quakers with pumpkins, but they're not Quaker pumpkins. I don't know, it's fun. It's just a good combo. Christmas Swan. 88 by 72, Christmas Swan. Queen of the Lake with the little tiara on there. Comfort and Joy. I love the font on this one. 146 by 78. Last but not least, Fiesty's favorite, Winter Stocking. I mean, can you even with this guy, this snowman stuck in the stocking? It is so good. We've got 146 by 69. Next up, Carriage House Samplings. Like, I can't even with this favorite one of mine here. It's definitely in my top 5 for all of the releases. What's interesting is I probably wouldn't stitch it, but it is such a good pattern. So first is Barnesville. Barnesville, she has a fun note on here. This design was inspired by a road trip from Montana to Florida with my daughter Grace. It includes the large alphabet for personalizing. 222 by 197 on Barnesville. And Night Creatures. Night Creatures is last year's pumpkin patch was inspirational, as well as the local owl population. That's so good. 125 by 115. And then here it is in all its glory. The Highland Cow feed sack. You guys are probably familiar with the Carriage House feed sacks that have come out in the past. And this one does not disappoint. I think it is so stinking cute. 101 by 132. That's the 10th in the feed sack series, by the way. So if you are collecting, better go make your counts and make sure that you have all 10 of them. Next up is Crossstitch Antiques. Only one from Crossstitch Antiques. And let me tell you, this sampler reproduction is beautiful. The colors, the flowers, the butterfly, it's so good. So this one is Julia Rachel de la Mar, 1849. I'll put up a picture up here in the original, and then also the stitched model. And like I said, the flowers are just beautiful. Size on this is 220 by 231. JBW. Oh, who doesn't love a good JBW designs? So petite and cute. 6 new ones for Miss Whitman. And first is Do All Things with Kindness, and it's titled With Kindness. This gives me the Bluebirds of Happiness vibes to a certain extent. And I think it's just really pretty. Colors are great. Size is 130 by 77. Next is Christmas Tree Bauble, 80 by 73. And then we have another Ornament Collections book. This one has 24 pages, and I'm not remembering how many ornaments are actually in there, but most of them range between 40 by 55. So super manageable. If you don't already have or haven't ever seen one of the JBW ornament books, they are done so well. Also, I believe she does finishing information in those books, which is really helpful. Next, Reindeer Bauble, 80 by 76. I went back and forth on which was actually my favorite. This one is Autumn Harvest. And there's everything you need for fall in there. Pumpkins, cats, leaves, all that fun stuff. 118 by 31. And my favorite, Fiesty's favorite, Merry Christmas. I love the font on this one. It's 191 by 71. In fact, Justine down at Welcome Stitchery had her anniversary piece done by JBW this year, and the font that is used on the welcome for Justine's anniversary chart is the same font as this, and it is so good. Love it. Tiny Modernist has 2 new releases. Now, I did just get another email that she's got some September releases coming, and she did just have some August releases as well. So she does have other things that are out on the market. These 2 are specific to Needlework Marketplace. The first one is Halloween Pretties, and this one is a booklet with 8 different Halloween designs in it. Super fun color palette, not a color palette you normally see for Halloween or fall inspired stitching, but she did a good job with this. I really enjoyed. I think my favorite one in there is that one that's got the Halloween letters with the little spider web and the spider hanging through it. That's cute. The second one, though, that Tiny Modernist has released is my favorite, and it is Harvest Moon. And funny story, at work yesterday, Neil Young's Harvest Moon came on the playlist. And we don't pick the playlist. We can pick like the channel. But, and then like 2 songs later, Barbie Girl came on. It was a pivot. But this Harvest Moon is certainly my favorite from Tiny Modernist. This one is 65 by 65. So she's just a little petite one. You can get that done in one night, right? Absolutely. 100%. Happiness is Heart Made with 5 new releases. First is Beekeeping Crows. There are 3 different patterns here. Couple of different sizes, 87 by 59, 59 by 59, and 45 by 45. Patriotic Liberty House, 90 by 66. Next is Faith, Hebrews 11:1. And it says, now faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. And that is 86 by 58. Emily's Garden Square. Just another fun little, this will be a great little pillow. 57 by 57. And then my favorite, because I don't know if you all know this about me, but I love sunflowers. And this one is Sunflower Serenade. And check out those sunflowers. I love them. 103 by 103. Next up we have the Primitive Hair. Oh my gosh. These designs from the Primitive Hair are something else. I can't even. And then there's the fabrics that they've done. Oh, they're so good. So let's start with Coven at the Beach. And I'll apologize in advance. I do not have stitch counts on these. So Coven at the Beach, 3 witches in front of beach houses. I feel like Joey, you should be stitching this. When you are sitting at the clubhouse, you should stitch this. There's also a fabric called Cornwall Sand that is available 30 count linen. I do have it listed on the website as well. 30 count linen, it's like a sandy color on the bottom and a bluer color on the top. I'll put a picture in there as well. So that one is Coming at the Beach. Then we have Independent Bunnies. 2 that can be done together or separately. Next is Stitching is a Never-Ending Story. Isn't that sweet? This is part of, I want to say it's her Halloween series. Don't quote me on that. This next one is part of the Woodland Stitchy Friends. And this one is Hedgehog. Isn't he cute? Look at him stitching there. Next is The Visit. And that is stitched on, not a fabric that was released this round. It was a previous release. But even if that was done on something dark and spooky with a hand-dyed fabric, and then, but not so dark that obviously the stitching would get lost in it, but it's super fun. The next is Christmas Carol series. There's 6. So far there are 6 6 patterns in this series. I'm not sure how many are coming out in total. This one is called The Novel. Obviously it's Christmas related. And this one has a fabric that she has come out with as well that is, again, it's so cool. I don't stitch on linen, but I'm tempted to get this 30 count linen and give it a whirl and see how much I hate my life when I do it, but it's so pretty. There's also Yule Hair that has come out. That one is stitched on the same fabric as well. My favorite though is this one right here. Witches Are Welcome. So freaking good. And so many different ways you can change the color of the fabric, change the color of the floss. You can make this one your own for sure. I am loving that pattern. Next is Quaint Rose Needle Arts. I have really taken to Quaint Rose over the last few months. I think they are doing some wonderful patterns. The first one for Needlework Marketplace release is called Acorn Thieves. This one actually has 4 different patterns. There's the squirrel mattress pattern. There's the acorn's pillow, the squirrel's pillow, and then there's the acorn needle book. On the outside of the needle book is, you'll see here in the picture, it's just an acorn with the star. On the inside, I don't have a picture of that one, but on the inside it says, "Oh, nuts," and that's stitched in there as well. Maybe I can find the picture and get that inserted for you as well. Then we've got Meowween, which is 3 separate patterns. This one has Black Cat Garden, Black Cat Season, and then the Meowween. Next release is Mixed Media Needle Art, Stitching Paraphernalia. This one is so good. I could do this. I normally don't like to stitch like samplers because I don't like to stitch the alphabet, but this is words and not alphabet. So I'm okay with that. So cross stitch, scissors, linen, Aida, needles, threads. So hoops, samplers, pins, count twice, stitch once. Really good one. That one is 160 by 150. Sunflower picking. I know, I just talked about this. I love sunflowers, but this one is not my favorite. So I hope you like the next one as much as I do, but this one was definitely my runner-up. So sunflower picking, 120 by 110. I love the gingham bowl on there. It's so good. And you can tell, it looks to me like she did 2 different fabrics and then stitched them together. And this one was finished on one of Chantel's 141 designed boards as well. But to top it all off, Fiesty's favorite, Blackbird Inn. Look at those sunflowers. I am in love with those sunflowers. I could do without the barn and just do the sunflowers, but I don't know how I'd make that work, and I don't think I can think that well. So, but anyway, this one I absolutely love. She's a big one. She's 217 by 243, so you got to be committed on that one. Obviously, there's a lot of dead space up there on the top, but nonetheless, it's still a hefty one. So that's Blackbird Inn, Quaint Rose Needle Arts. Next up, we've got Art Mishka Cross Stitch, and Art Mishka has 6 new patterns. I recently brought Art Mishka into the store. That's the gal that did the Halloween ghosts that are so good, and the black cats that look like they're looking over things. I'll toss those in there in case you want to see them. But the 6 that releases that she has for Needlework Marketplace, first is Bike Life, and I have to apologize again, this is not somebody that I have the stitch counts on. Then we've got Boho Floral Heart, Firework. The reason I like Firework is because there's so many things you could do with this. So many color options depending on fabric and floss. Next up is Frog and Strawberry. And then Feisty favorite is Puppies. They're so cute. I really enjoy the puppies. They are very similar in style and technique as the black cats. So, puppies. Next we've got Annie, the Proper Stitcher. She's got 8 new patterns this time. first is, actually let's talk about both of them. The first two are both Make-A-Wish You birthday stitches. They're Celebrate You series, and one is with a little girl and one is with a little boy. They are both, they're separate patterns, but they're both 70 by 70. Then we've got Autumn Bliss. Every leaf speaks bliss to me, fluttering from the autumn tree. Very sweet sentiment. And that finishing board is also a Chantel's 141 design board. It's called the Everything board. Next is Cauldron Bubble, Double Double, Toil and Trouble, and Speakman 1840 sampler. This one is a, she was talking on her Flosstube. This is not a direct reproduction, an inspiration, I think was the word she called it. Because this is not exactly what the original looked like. English Rose sampler. Oh wait, hold up. A reimagined sampler, that's what it was. And Speakman 1840 is a reimagined sampler, and so is the English Rose sampler. I love that rose right in the middle. I think it's pretty. And then okay, I really struggled between these two for my favorites, because you know I love birds and you know I love Quakers, but I did not pick the bird as my favorite. This one is Bird of Bordeaux, and this is a reproduction sampler. 145 by 118. And then my favorite, Strive for Joy, Not Perfection. I have to stitch that. Add to cart. 107 by 136. So that is Proper Stitcher. Hello from Liz Matthews is next on the docket, and she has 8 new releases. Now, I believe that that all of these are either previous releases from her Patreon, or they were previous releases from Jingle Ball. So you may have seen them before, but they have not been released to the public before. So now is your lucky time. First, we have Secret Garden, and that one is, oh my goodness, I don't have the stitch count size on that. Liz is one of my favorite designers. I have probably, out of all of my collections, she's the one I have the most of. After Secret Garden, we have a collaboration piece that Liz did with Kathy Barrick, Holly Wreath. This one is, I just can't even. I love so much about it. I'd even stitch a house to be able to stitch that, and I don't normally like to do that. That's, oh, this one has a stitch count though, 161 by 164. And then House on Pumpkin Hill. This one is so sweet. The sunflowers, the pumpkins, just a great piece. 101 by 131. And then we have Merry Christmas, Quaker Christmas Star. You'll notice that the trim on that is a beaded trim, which Liz did a class on a different star that she did last Jingle Ball to teach how to do that. It's really impressive. And that one is 140 by 136. Next up we have Merry and Bright, 2 pillows, again with that same beaded trim. And those pillows are 105 by 68. And Festive Mini Trees is next. There are 4 different trees with this one. 55 by 50. Now I know she shows them finished, stuffed with little trunks. Stuffed with little, finished with trunks to look like trees. My goodness, words are hard. I think this would be super cute done with a raw trim, or I'm sorry, a raw finish on the edge of the trees and used as little tags on Christmas gifts. Fa la la. I think this is so sweet. This was definitely top 2 for me. 141 by 75 on Fa La La. Santa's Night Tree. And this one is 152 by 151. And although it's so hard for me to pick which is my favorite from Liz Matthews, this one came in first place. Ghosting to Town. I think they're so cute, and I love the black version and the white version. The alternate options is so good. 131 by 126 on that one. All right, Glendon Place had 3 new releases. First one is Count My Blessings. When I count my blessings, I count you twice. And 198 by 198. Oh, she's a big one too. Bewitching Toads. This one is funny. I find you very bewitching, warts and all. And then my top of the 3 releases is my favorite color. It says my favorite color is October. Next up is Kathy Barrick. Kathy has 6 new releases. One of them you've already seen before. It's the collab with Liz Matthews. Baltimore Album Quilt. And this one is huge. Not huge, but she's a big one. 237 by 257. Get that done in one weekend, right? So great motifs there. Next up is Quaker Pincushions. And 77 by 41 for the Mary Lake pincushion. And the M Lake pincushion is 81 by 47. And then Nipped in the Bud, 51 by 75. Oh, I thought that was a lot bigger than that in the picture. It's actually pretty small. Patchwork Jacks, 59 by 59. And my favorite of them all is Goodnight Moon, because look at that moon. That's amazing. It does look like the stars are done in specialty stitches, so I certainly hope that she's got some descriptions on how to make those happen. But that one is 89 by 97. You know what? I thought that it would be much bigger because I'm pretty sure her other designs with the moons are big. But yeah, this one is much smaller than I thought it would be. So that's Goodnight Moon. Next up, we've got Big Toe Designs. Big Toe has 4 new releases. First one is Only Be Still. Next is, and I don't have stitching sizes on these, I do not believe. No, I do not. So Only Be Still. Lovely Littles 2. There's one that says Best Friends, Chickens, and Lord Have Mercy. Next is a sampler, God of All Comfort. And then my favorite, because look at these flowers, it is Joy. That's so freaking good. Next up, Cherry Blossoms. Cherry Blossoms has 3 new charts. And first one is not that one. Vintage Ornament Set 3. And there are 3 different ornaments in this set. You've got the bear in a stocking, the truck with the Christmas tree, and the little, I think it's a little chickadee? Maybe a sparrow? Looks like a chickadee. Let's go with the chickadee. And she calls it a merry little bird, so maybe it's just a bird. 40 by 40 on those. Next is Grateful Heart. Gratitude is the secret to a full life. And 108 by 144. And then my favorite is Winter Joy. And it is a snow globe inspired image with Santa and his sleigh over the rooftop on Christmas Eve. 100 by 106. Now you'll notice that is on a wooden backer, a snow globe wooden backer. This one is available during Marketplace as well. I'll have that on the website. I would also mention that the baubles, the vintage ornaments, also there is the ornament backers for that as well. So those will be available through the shop. Next up, we've got, oh, what do we have? I ran out of space here. All right, we've got Pedal Pusher. Barbie at Pedal Pusher has 3 new designs. First up is Cats in the Graveyard, which is super fun. Simple, cute little fun pattern. 60 by 58. And then Seasonal Blooms, there's autumn and winter. 90 by 41 on each of those. And then my favorite, because, you know, I love the bugs and the moths and all that, Spanish Moon Moth. It's so pretty. 129 by 90. Pansy Patch. First release is Serenity. It says release number 1, so I'm going to assume that this, no. Scratch that, Serenity. All right, Serenity is 141 by 117. So many goodies going on in here. Look at the scissors. So there's the alphabet in there, obviously, and then it says, Serenity and peace is all she needs. Beautiful. Next is Summer Quilt Barn. We're going to come back to that. That's my favorite. You don't get to see it yet. Strawberry Basket Pin Keep and Scissor Fob. This one is 70 by 69 for the pin keep and 41 by 35 for the scissor fob. Pink Peacock Sampler, 179 by 186. The Simple Tranquility Sampler and Smalls. This is a really big one. 263 by 315 is the stitch count on that. I love the sentiment. It says, in my garden, you will find me with the chickens pulling weeds happily, or maybe gathering eggs and stitching merrily. And then there's also these little snippets here where you can pull out and do the smalls out of that. Make what you want. Now let's go back to my favorite. My favorite is the Summer Quilt Barn. Here it is. Sorry. Just giving you a teaser earlier. There's a little peacock there on top of the barn. Berry bowls, stars, just great colors. I love the barn star on the actual barn. 115 by 96. And then the caboose of all the designers is Blueberry Ridge. 6 new designs from Blueberry Ridge. And first up is Tommy's Pumpkin Patch. Another squirrel. Janelle's been all about the squirrels. Many of you designers have been all about the squirrels. So many good squirrels. And Next up, oh wait, how big is that? Let's talk about how big it is. 163 by 98. Next up is Sampler Holidays, and this one is Thanksgiving. And 143 by 172. Bird and Berry Tart, 75 by 75. Over the Garden Gate, 68 by 89. And next up, this is called Among the Petals, and it is number 4. So this is a series, the Blueberry Ridge Garden series. And so the release for this one is 120 by 243. I feel like that's not. I feel like that's the whole thing. Certainly that can't be just this piece, do you think? Well, maybe it is. No, it can't be. That's got to be the whole thing, not this one portion. Don't quote me on that. But anyway, it's still cute. I don't care what size it is. Check out the squirrel and the bunny and the bird, the little robin in there. The flowers are amazing. And then it says, among the petals and the weeds, a bit of wonder always grows. My favorite, I gotta scroll back up here, is Winter Rests. And that one is 145 by 125. I love everything about this one. There isn't anything about it that I don't like. So that's it. So we had 20 designers. From what I can tell, there are very few designers left to do any releases. So if you're looking to do your pre-orders, now is a good time. There's a few straggling in, but it won't be very much left at all. So I know at Fiesty Needle, almost everything is up on the website. By the time this video gets launched out onto the YouTube universe, it probably will all be up already. And I know there are other websites that have all their stuff out as well. So if you're not shopping at Fiesty Needle, at least shop with your local LNS. And all pre-orders are due in with me by next Friday. Nope, that's not true. They're due by Thursday, the 21st, I believe that is, on Thursday. Keep in mind, if you do multiple orders with Marketplace items in it, you will only pay for shipping in the first order. You will be charged for shipping in any subsequent order, but I will refund that back. So that's nice if you want to just get that one purchased so you don't forget, or start yourself a cart and cash out later. That works for me as well. The sooner you get your order in, the more likely I am to make sure that I don't miss anything and I can get that secured for your delivery. So I'm so excited about this marketplace. There's been so many good patterns and the designers have just done a wonderful job. I think I have too many favorites. Yep, I'm not sure which is my favorite overall. I think I just have like top 5 or like tied for number 1 basically. So anyway, that's it. Enough rambling. Go out and visit fiestyneedle.com. Make sure that you hit the like and subscribe buttons. Follow me on Instagram, also Fiesty Stitcher on Instagram. And I look forward to recapping another video for any remaining designers that come out here in the next few days. Hello, I'm back. I'm so sorry. I totally missed some big designers. And when I went to do my review, I was like, I can't believe I left those designers off. So we are not done yet. But the good news is, while I forgot those designers, a couple of other designers have rolled in that I want to be able to cover and get this out to everybody for Needlework Marketplace 2025 review. So first is Shannon Christine. Keep in mind, Shannon Christine, Erin Elizabeth, and Long Dog that I'm going to go over today, I do not have stitch counts on those, so I do apologize in advance. First is Shannon Christine Autumn Drinks. sporting everything pumpkin spice with the fox and a latte and a pumpkin and oh my gosh, it is adorable. That's not true. I do have stitch count. Oh, I do have stitch count. 207 by 56. I don't know how I missed that. I do have a cat yelling at me today because she wants to go outside. So she might come and visit. We'll see. Next up, keeping with the cup and beverage theme, we've got Shannon Christine Hot Cocoa Bar. Warm Up Here. That's 121 by 60. And Pumpkin Wagon. You've got the squirrel and the sunflowers. And 86 by 62. Next is Winter Wonderland. I love when Shannon Christine does this kind of lace effect with the snowflakes. She's got a couple of other designs from Winter's Past that kind of give me the same vibe as this one. And Winter Wonderland is 96 by 126. And then we go into, this is super fun. They're these small nutcrackers. There's 3 of them, all separate patterns, but one is red, one is blue, and one is green. They are not very big, 36 by 79. So if you are creating a nutcracker village with all of Shannon Christine's nutcrackers, you could easily add these to that as little minis. Or if you stitch it on a higher count, they'd make really great ornaments. I do have to point out on this red one, just take a look at the little gingerbread man that's on top of the staff. That is so stinking cute. And I missed it at first. I'm not sure how I missed it, but I missed it. I don't remember if I did filigree, so I'm just going to run through filigree real quick. There's 2 patterns that have come out from filigree. One is a Fall on the Farm, and the other is a Fall in the Meadow. Then we're going to roll into Erin Elizabeth. Oh my gosh, I forgot to tell you. My favorite one from Shannon Christine, hands down, Winter Wonderland. So feisty favorite on that one, Winter Wonderland. Erin Elizabeth, so she has I think it's 12 of these little charts. I shouldn't say little, they're not like super little by any means. They're 62 by 62. But it's part of her Halloween block party. Of the 12 that she has, they are all purchased separately, but on the website I do have it. If you just know that you want every single one of them, you can just go and click on the whole collection, and then easy peasy, you've got everything that you need. So you don't have to go through and add each chart to your cart. So the first is Block Party Booze. It says, I'm here for the booze. Next is Candy House. And then we've got Frank House. Fright, which is Fright This Way. Next is Ghost House. And then we've got October 31st. Pumpkin House. R.I.P. House. Tomb Sweet Tomb. Trick or Treat. Witch House. And Witch Parking Only. There is also a border that it's showing in the bottom corner. I believe that border is available on Erin Elizabeth's website. What's super cool though, obviously if you don't want to do 12 of them, but you still want to put some together, you could do 6 blocks, you could do 9 blocks. You can really kind of make it your own and do whatever you want to do. My favorite though from Erin Elizabeth's new releases is Spells and Potions. that is beautiful. Dinky Dyes on the website is showing that there is a silk pack. So I'm not able to tell the color on it, but what's cool about this, I would envision doing everything in one color except for spells and potions. I would like splash that out there with a bright red, something like a real deep rusty type of red. I think that would be really pretty. Count Your Stitches. I am not super familiar with Count Your Stitches, but I know she's a newer designer. I think she started coming out of the pandemic is when she began to do her stitching, or her designing rather, excuse me. And she has got 6 new patterns, I believe. And the first one is called Little Sweethearts, and this is Allie. I think the little bear that's her sidekick is adorable. Allie is 61 by 61 for the pillow. It says, oh, there's a little pillow there. I didn't even notice that. Look at that little quilt block pillow. I was so focused on the little girl. Okay, so there's 3 patterns with this. There's the quilt block pillow. That's 61 by 61 over there in the corner. And then the doll is 54 by 162. Oh, and that's a sheep. Man, I'm all kinds of wrong. I thought that was a little bear. That is a sheep. That little sheep is 25 by 39. Next one is Patchwork Pumpkins. And this one was originally featured in American Patchwork and Quilting magazine. And it's 77 by 77. Next up is Garden Walk. Every time I say that, I want to say Golden Walk and not Garden Walk. Golden Walk is our local Chinese restaurant. My brain just immediately goes there for some reason. I don't know why. 48 by 48 on Garden Walk. Then I love this. Porcelain Stitches number 1, but I'm a sucker for the blues. 103 by 103. Look at how pretty that is. And then we've got Charlevoix Lighthouse. I believe I'm pronouncing that correctly. From an inspiration from Michigan. 67 by 82. And then my favorite, which is odd because I don't usually lean towards patriotic colored stitching, but there's something about this I really enjoy. It's called Summertime Star, and it's 49 by 49. But I did want to throw in here a little bit of information on some of her previous charts, particularly this one right here. I don't know what the name of it is, but I am going to bring this one in. I love it. That is beautiful. So I'm going to add it to the website, and we are going to work on getting that in over Marketplace to be on the website permanently as well. So yeah, so that's it. I think that's everything that I've missed. I hope everybody's having a fantastic day. So please do something feisty today and stitch what you love. Bye.